guys, Tivo2 here, back with another episode of my TARDIS tutorial. In this episode we're going to be covering the Timelord time stream. Now this is based on the name of the Doctor, in which the Doctor's tomb was revealed, and within it was revealed that his time stream had kind of manifested itself as this big column of light, in which basically the entirety of his existence basically was entombed, for lack of a better word. And I basically added this as a little effect after you die as a Time Lord. You can see I have 2 regenerations left, so that's going to happen soon. So now I'm about to die for the final time and be on my final incarnation. So if I die now, I am dead forever. Or at least if we were on hardcore, we would be, because this is Minecraft, so I had to add a bit of a twist to it. So yeah, let's just die one last time. And you can see, yeah, I am totally dead, but you can see something happened. And if we go back to where we died, you will see and hear this. So this is kind of a column of light, and this is my time stream. So you can see it's exactly what it was in the episode, kind of this weird column of light. And what happens when we walk inside, because obviously some weird stuff happened to Clara when she walked inside of the Doctor's time stream. Something will happen to us as well. You can see our items aren't here. So where are they? Well, if we walk inside the time stream, check that out. We get our items back and it disappears. So yeah, this basically, as kind of a Minecrafty twist on the time stream idea, it acts as like a grave marker and stores your items, kind of like some of those gravestone mods you see. So yeah, let's get right into how it works. So how does this all work? Well, we want to start in our regeneration room. We want to start with the command blocks that give us our regeneration initially, which are obviously these. On to the end of this long chain of command blocks you'll remember from that episode, you want to add one more, and this one is tag at a, tag equals Time Lord, add time stream. And obviously you want this on chain, unconditional, always active, so that it basically will follow after these ones get activated. So yeah, basically all that does gives you the time stream tag once you are a Time Lord. And what's the time stream tag for? Well, it's really just a temporary thing for basically marking your position. So if we come over here, this is where the bulk of the time stream commands are, and you can see this one starts us off, and this is on repeat and needs redstone. It can be on always active, but I just have a lever for testing purposes. And this is executing if the entity exists at a tag equals not Time Lord, because the exclamation mark means they do not have this tag, but they do have the time stream tag. And basically what that means is you've basically gotten the time stream tag, but then you've gone through all of your regeneration. You are on your final life and do not have the Time Lord tag anymore, but you'll still have the time stream tag. You'll also have the scores of health equals 0 and deaths equals 2. So as per the original regeneration video, you want to have scoreboards counting your deaths and your health. And your deaths will be a 1 once you get to your final incarnation. And when you die, obviously it goes up to 2. And it'll also be looking for health equals 0, meaning you're in the act of being, well, dead. So you'll have health of 0. So when it finds that player, when the player has died after their final incarnation, it is going to activate this comparator, therefore activating this chain of command blocks. We want to start here, and this one is executing as that very same player at their position. It's going to summon an armor stand at their coordinates, custom name visible 0, and the custom name of time stream. You can put a space in between the 2 words if you want, you really don't have to. Invulnerable :1, invisible :1, and disabled slots. You basically just set this to a high number, and basically what it means is that the armor stand can't have items given or taken from it. And then if that is active, these 2 chain command blocks will activate because they are set to conditional. And basically what they are doing is execute as that very same player. We're going to run tag at s add retrieve items. And so this is a new tag we've just been given, and then immediately after it is going to execute as the same player and remove the time stream tag. So as I said, time stream is just temporary, and now it's been replaced by yet another temporary tag, retrieve items. So as for the time stream entity that was spawned, we have 2 kind of visual effects for it. This one is executing as time stream at s run particle dust, and all of this syntax, but obviously this just means that you're spawning those particles at its position. And then this is for a sound. So we have execute at e name equals time stream, run play sound, block, note block, chime, ambient, and you're playing that to all players within a distance of 10 blocks or less at their coordinates. And then this is the volume and the minimum volume I've set to .3 so it can be kind of muted. And then this is the pitch, .775. And this is the same sound that plays for regeneration, just obviously at a lower volume. So now that the player has that retrieve items tag, they're going to be able to go back to the time stream to retrieve their items. So execute if entity at a tag equals retrieve items. So once that entity exists, once the tag has been given to them, it is going to activate this comparator, and then a 1-tick delay due to this repeater, it is going to run this command block, which is doing execute as at e name equals time stream at s run tp at e type equals item distance equals less than 5 to a certain set of coordinates. So obviously the moment after that player gets that tag, it is teleporting all items within a small distance to some coordinates. That coordinate would be here, and you can get that by just doing set block tab 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 and then removing everything before the coordinates. Obviously just copy and paste that into this command block, and now you'll be able to teleport the items on top of this hopper and into this chest. You can put this anywhere really, but I just put it with these command blocks. And basically this just acts as a means of storing your items when you die into this chest. So how do you get back your items? Well, we have this command block here, which is executing as at e name equals time stream at s if entity at a tag equals retrieve items scores equals health is more than 1 and that player is within a distance of 1 block or less. Basically what this is saying is executing at the time stream's coordinates if the retrieve items player is within a distance of 1 block or less, basically standing right on top of it, and it has at least 1 health. So basically you'll have to respawn in order for this to take effect. And if that is true, if you have walked within a distance of 1 of the entity, it's going to run this comparator and then run these 2 chains of command blocks. This one first. This one is executing as the time stream at its coordinates. Run tag at p tag equals retrieve items, add clear time. You're getting yet another temporary tag, and then immediately after this chain will run, and this is doing executing again at the time stream. Run clone the block directly above it, and the block above and 1 on the x-axis. It is cloning that area to these coordinates, and these coordinates are right here on top of these blocks here, so like that basically. And you don't need to mark it like this, but you do just need an area where it's going to be able to clone those blocks. And it's just cloning the blocks directly around it just so that when it places a chest in their place, it is not going to destroy those things. There is a copy of them in that clone. So as I said, the next thing it's going to be doing is doing yet again at its coordinates. It's going to clone this area here, basically just this chest, to right 1 block above it and replacing whatever is there. And that's why you want to place a copy of it here, so that then in this chain we're going to be able to replace it. But in the meantime, it has obviously copied this chest over so that now the items are right there with the player who they belong to. And then it's going to immediately after fill that very same area right above the armor stand with air, destroy. And destroy just means it's going to then drop all the items that were in the chest. So that's how you get your items back basically. And this other chain also activates immediately after. You want it to be in this order where this chain activates first by basically making it closer to the comparator, and then this chain is going to execute as the time stream at its coordinates, tagging that player, remove retrieve items. So yeah, it's removing the retrieve items tag after it has done all that it has done, and then it is going to kill the time stream entity. It is going to do these 2, which is just data merge block at coordinates items, and then some square brackets, and basically what these mean is it's just making these chest blocks empty. So the items thing, when you don't have anything within the square brackets, is basically just means the chests are going to be empty. So you can empty it so that it can be filled properly next time with the next player's items. So after all of that happens, it is going to do a 1-tick delay before it gets to these two command blocks. These two, this is executing as the player who does not have the tag of Timelord, but does have the tag of clear time. Add at S, run kill, at E, type equals item, and then NBT item, colon, open curly bracket, ID, and then within quotations, Minecraft chest, close the curly brackets, distance equals less than 4. Basically what that means is it's just killing any chest item entities within a small distance, basically just to get rid of the chest entities that would drop from the chest that gets destroyed. And likewise, this is just clearing from that same player's inventory 2 chests, just in case they pick up the chests. And finally, after one more repeater delay, we have these 2 commands, and this is going to execute as that clear time player, and it is cloning these blocks that were placed here back to where they're supposed to go. And then finally, if that is successful, it'll run this chain command block, which is tag at A, remove clear time. And then that is basically the end of it. I know this was a long sequence of command blocks, but I will real quick just kind of summarize for you. So obviously when you first get your regenerations, you're given a time stream tag, and then once you get to your final regeneration and you die, it's going to summon the armor stand at your coordinates, and it is going to give you the retrieve items tag and remove the time stream tag. Now the retrieve items tag is going to allow you to retrieve your items, obviously, and once that player exists, it is going to teleport all your items into this chest for storage. So to retrieve your items, this is testing for when that player is within a distance of 1 of the armor stand, and when it is going to clone the area around the armor stand to here. And then it is going to replace the original area with the chest, and then break the chest so that the player can get back their items, and then immediately after replace the area that was destroyed by the chest. And then it is also killing the time stream entity and replacing this chest with an empty one. And just to demonstrate one last time, I'm just going to die right here. And as you can see, that was my final regeneration, and now I am on my final incarnation. And if I die again now, and now that I've died again, all I need to do is go back to the location where I died, and you can see my time stream. It makes the sound, it has the stream of particles, and if we walk into it, we of course get back our items. And I just want to demonstrate real quick how the time stream replaces any blocks that the chest destroys. So if we stand here, in theory, when we die and then get our items back, it's going to spawn the chest inside this block, because it'll spawn it 1 block up and then also 1 block to the side in the positive X direction. So it would destroy this block here. So here's our time stream right next to the block, and if we walk into it, you'll see what happens. You can see that it broke the block for a moment while it replaced it with the chest, and then it replaced it a moment later. So yeah, that's really all there is to it. This has been my time stream feature. I hope you all enjoyed. I've been Tibo2. Be sure to subscribe, to follow my Instagram, Tibo2IT, to follow my Twitter, which is also Tibo2IT, to join my Discord, and lastly, to have a nice day. Goodbye.